I said I would never use a curriculum with my sons, but I was wrong, because here I am, just a few years later, using a curriculum regularly with both of my home educated sons. So what changed? Let's talk about that. First of all, you have to understand where I was mentally when I first started home educating. In my first year of home education, I did not have anyone around me that home educated. I didn't know a single person when I was deciding how to home educate that was home educated. So everything I knew about home education came from online. And a lot of it were American homeschoolers and also British home educators, but it was all online that I was hearing advice and information. And there is so much information online, isn't there? There's so much out there. And at the time, there was a very big kind of push towards relaxed home education. So there was not a lot of let's do sit down school at home, which is good. But there was a big push in the opposite direction of don't use curriculum, don't force your kids to do stuff, don't do this, that and the next thing, be relaxed, be chill, let them do a lot of what they want a lot of the day. That was very much the angle that the majority of the media that I was consuming, that was the story that they were giving. That was their advice. And you'll still hear a lot of that these days because it can still be a bit controversial in some home education circles to say that you are using a curriculum because a lot of people think it destroys a love for learning. And I can see where they're coming from. I can see that if you do not use curriculum in a way that suits your children, then they can start to destroy a love for learning. I can see how that happens. And I think that curriculum does need to be used carefully and appropriately for your child, but it has been a wonderful addition to our home. It has really helped me as a home educating mum, and it has really helped them. And actually, this is another thing to talk about, which is listening to your gut feeling. I know mums encourage other mums a lot, especially when their children are young, to listen to their gut feelings. So for example, when you have a young baby and you think there's something wrong with them and the medical professionals are telling you there's nothing wrong with them, you are encouraged to listen to your gut feeling and get it checked out because a mum knows, right? Their gut feeling is usually correct. Well, that can be extended into the older years as well. And my gut feeling was I really wanted to use a curriculum because I could see how helpful it could be. But because I was consuming all this media that was telling me not to, I kind of used it a little bit with my son in his first year of home education. We used a very gentle preschool curriculum and it was like very spread out. We were doing maybe like 1 page a week or something. Like it went on for a long time. And by the time we actually finished the curriculum, I had to skip a lot of it because you already knew a lot of the things that it was teaching. So it was something that I should have listened to my gut feeling on. The first year of our home education was overwhelming. I was filled with fear about whether I was doing a good job. And then in the second year of home education and beyond, I had moved from a place of overwhelm and fear to a place of calm and confidence. And one of the things that helped me do that was just being confident in my decision to use curriculum because that's what I felt was right. So if it is your conviction to not use curriculum, then do not use it. Do not let me tell you otherwise. But I did feel like curriculum was going to be a helpful addition, and I have been proved right. It has been an extremely helpful addition. Okay, my toddler just woke up, so I've lost my train of thought. But anyway, I was talking about curriculum and how helpful it can be. And one of the most helpful things about using curriculum is that it helps me with my mental load. It reduces my mental load so much. One of the things that you worry about most as a new home educator is you worry that you're not doing it right, that you're not doing enough. And curriculum for certain subjects just gives you that peace of mind. You know that, for example, for English and maths, you're getting covered what needs to be covered. And then everything else is not, I wouldn't want to say extra, but it kind of is extra in the early years. English and maths and whatever else you decide are the core subjects. And it reduces your mental load to know that you have a curriculum that you are following and that you're getting that done. And you can just kind of forget about it and focus on more fun things because education, home education is really, really fun. And there is also a lot more to home educating and your home educating life than curriculum. like curriculum as a part and an important part, I believe, but there is so much more to home education than curriculum. And so using curriculum relieves your mental load a bit and allows you to focus on other things. And that for me has been extremely helpful. Also, viewing curriculum as a helpful tool has been really helpful because it's not, like I said, it's not the be all and end all of your home education day. It's not, in my opinion, the most important thing, but it is also of importance. And so viewing it as a tool, as a helpful tool, allows you to keep it in its proper place. Now I'm going to give you some little tips that will help you when you're thinking about curriculum. The first one is, do choose a curriculum that is appropriate for your child. So if you have a child who is a bit more hands-on and doesn't like writing as much, then you can choose a curriculum that is appropriate for them and that will suit them a little bit better than another one might. Depends on the child what they like, and you can choose a curriculum that will suit them. Curriculum is expected in our home, and it happens, and it gives us stability, but it is not the sole focus of our home education. And maybe you're wondering, how does curriculum fit into your overall home education day? Well, I have a guide that I'll leave in a link to in the description box below, and it basically tells you exactly step by step how to fit curriculum into your day. It's a full step-by-step guide to the very first year of home education. So I'll leave a link to that down below. And if you're not ready for that, then I also have a free masterclass which helps you take the very first step in your home education journey. My next curriculum tip is, yes, choose a curriculum that is appropriate for your child, but don't spend hours and hours and hours researching it, okay? Don't spend all your time researching all the curriculums out there to find the best possible fit for your child. If you've got a couple of curriculum options, choose the one that best suits your child, but don't go out of your way to find the perfect curriculum. Because one, there is probably no such thing, and two, you will learn better which curriculum will suit your child as you start home educating them. So just pick one that looks good, that fits within your budget, and get started. Another tip is you can mix up the time that you use curriculum. So, like I said, I have two sons who I'm fully home educating at the moment. And one of my sons, my older son, his curriculum gets done in the evening after the two little ones have gone to bed, because that is the time that he will focus the best and feel most motivated to do it. So mix up the times. I do my younger son's curriculum in the morning. It just depends on your children, also on your own capacity, because there was a time when I couldn't do the evenings, but now that my youngest son's a little bit older, the evenings have opened up a little bit more for me now, and so it works for me. So take into account your own needs and the needs of your children and find a time that works for both of you. And just a reminder that you can use a curriculum and still do child-led learning. You can use a curriculum and still do other forms of education that are perhaps a bit more relaxed. You don't have to be stuck into a curriculum like for every single subject. That's another tip. Don't buy a huge boxed curriculum set in your first year of home education. Like, you know, those big sets that you can buy that have like English and maths, and you've also got geography and history and social studies and science and all of those things. Don't buy that because you probably won't end up using most of it. So that's my recommendation, and it'll also save you a lot of money because those are extremely expensive. So that's my tip for that. And my children have got a lot out of using a curriculum, especially with their reading, but also with their maths. Neither of them are particularly advanced in any subject, but they do I just like having the progress of going steadily through a curriculum and them getting better and better and better. And they can see in themselves as well that they are getting better and better and better. And my older son, he would choose not to use a curriculum if I asked him, but he is the one who has also got the most out of using a curriculum. And he's also the one who will remind me if I forget to do it one night. So there is that. I'm going to leave a link here to a video that I did that explains how much curriculum time I would recommend doing in your first year of home education, how much actual sit down workbook style curriculum time that I would recommend doing in your first year of home education. I'll link that here, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.